I don't know how to do like YouTube intros, so we're just gonna jump into it. I got sixth place at a store championship like just now. So um, I played Pure Snake Eye. So I guess we're just going into the main deck first and foremost. So it's fairly like vanilla, not vanilla, but it's like standard now, uh, based on like what PAX list was for YCS Costa Rica. It's basically just like a carbon copy of that. It's just 3D Bellstar. I for some reason I just open up like these 6 cards like a little more often than I would like to. Um, like it would always be like double D Bellstar wanted and then like 3 hand traps, which is fine because you know you can start playing. But I don't know. I feel like I would draw this card like I would draw these cards this engine like way more than I wanted to. Of course, you're still gonna play 6. I'm not saying it's because of engine. That was my only complaint about today. I would like resolve the whole engine and then like a wanted vanish, put the original back, and I just draw another wanted. Or I draw another DFL star. I open double DFL star in my hand like a bunch for no reason. That's pretty much it. You should always play 3. Just max it on 6. It's just the best way to play the engine. If you're playing like Fire King, then you can go down to 2, because you know you're playing a lot of bricks in that deck. And the one original, you know, just you can play 2 for like a little bit more of a grind game, but you will start. What I experience is that I'll start drawing it a lot more than I want to. You should just play 1, and if you play correctly, the 1 is all you need. Then we got 3 Ash for the Snake Eye engine, 2 Poplar, and 1 Oak. I mean, again, just standard, just pretty vanilla. We don't play Birch. I was thinking about cutting Birch from the pure list, but I felt like it was too good of an extender. And then, you know, Pat came out with his list, and I was like, that was like the validation I needed, or the confirmation bias that I needed to just like stop playing Birch. And I'm glad I did. There aren't really like that many lines where he comes up. Like you can use it to make a Flame Birch on your turn, I mean on your opponent's turn, but that rarely ever comes up. And if you really need to do that, then like the game is pretty far gone at that point. Then we got 2 Flamberge and the Field Spell and our honorary Snake Eye, Jet Synchron. I saw this card out like a bunch, games 2 and 3. Game 3, if I'm going first, I might side it in just to be better against board breakers, because setting up like Savage against board breakers or Baron, like Synchron into Baron, is still like substantial, and having an Omni Negate is really strong in this format as well for board breakers, because the rest of your engine will like disrupt them enough to make sure you don't die. Because at this point, going first is like, as long as you don't die, you still have like original add back into Ash, add back Poplar, and then you just start comboing from there. Like there's so much stuff to do on the crackback that as long as you don't die, you're probably winning that game. But yeah, it's all pretty standard. Then we got like consistency cards, 3 Bonfire, and then 1/1/1. Everyone's playing this package, like it's not nothing really crazy. Then like our non-engine, we're playing a bunch. We're playing 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Nib, 3 Droll, 3 Imperm, 3 Tactics. I mean, not 3 Crossout and 1 Tactics. Again, kind of like what is basically what Pack was doing, where he's playing like 3 Crossout and then you play 1 Tactics. So if you go into the Apo board, you can just set this and then cross out their tactics, so you can kind of play into Apo as freely as you want to. So I was debating a lot on just playing 3 tactics and then turning, so like it would be 3 tactics, and then like this would become like a called by, because I liked called by as like a general just staple card against every single deck of the format, but I was convinced after like a little bit of testing that Crossout was better. I actually would go back to the 3 triple attack and 1 called by simply because the Sword Chamber that I went to was either like there's only like 4 Snake Eye players there, and I was one of them, and then the rest was Voice, Lab, and Brandon. So I would rather just go into tactics when it comes to like my locals, but of course it depends on like what you're going into. So if you're going to a big event like a regional or YCS, I would say main the 3 Crossout, but just for what I wanted to do, I would go back to the 3 tactic and 1 called by. But yeah, you play all these. What, this is 19 on engine. I think this is a good number. You will open hands because like, you're playing 19, so you're gonna open hands where you open like one of each of these and like a starter, or you're just gonna break completely on each one of these. But if you're going first, then like you're pretty much fine, especially against the mirror, because if you leave like a nib on board, and then you can like normal summon any of these hand traps, and then go into Hida summon their stuff, and you're like playing from there. So, and I didn't like break on hand traps at all today, so that was good. But yeah, it's all pretty standard. So that's it for the main deck. Extra, again, pretty vanilla. I'm not playing anything crazy. Get that set up real quick. Yeah, so it's 1 Link Grebo, 1 Nightmare Phoenix. We're playing 2 Princess because I made a mistake. So I took anecdotal evidence and played against like Kashtira with Shifter and everything in my locals like maybe last week, and I decided that I wanted to not play Celine or Amdawale and just play 2 Princess in case I played against Kashtira, and so they would have to either like banish like my Zelantis or like my SP instead of Princess, because you know if they banish one, that I have the next one. But honestly, it didn't come up at all today. I played against 1 extra deck rip deck and they didn't even rip the Princess, or any if they had, I was winning the match regardless. So yeah, I would definitely just play Celine. Amawale, you don't really need that much. The pop isn't that relevant if you're not playing Fire King. So I would rather just play like Celine to make the Apple lines a little bit more fluid. Then it's Zelantis, Raging Phoenix, OTK of course, and the Charmers. We're playing Hida and Dark, you know, so it's all pretty standard. Then your Apple, your IP, your SP. I play 1 Goddess because you're able to, again, if you're playing, you can play the tags a little bit more by like going IP. Like you can use your Apple against like you can shotgun them as many as you want to, and then they go tactics. You just chain IP, make Goddess with one of their monsters. So you go IP, Flamberge, Apo, one of their monsters into Goddess. Trigger your Flamberge, and then you get to like dodge tactics because this has to target in order to affect it. So it's unaffected, it stays on your board, and then it's also a negate for anything that summons from the graveyard. So any recursion that they have, you just negate it with Goddess. And then unless they have like Imperm or something, then or like yeah, unless they have like Imperm, then they can't stop the negate anyways. And then the 3 synchros, they all came up. I made them enough today. Barone I made the least, only made like once. Savage I made on like turn 3s and 4s and on the crackbacks because he's easier to make than Baron, because going first I did the Apo IP Flamberge board more than anything else because it plays a little bit more around Super Poly than like Raging Phoenix IP with Flamberge. So I made that board a lot more than anything else, and having 2 Flamberge in the graveyard is hard to like do Synchron and Flamberge into Baron, like playing through the disruption on turn 3. So it's easier to make this with like Celine and stuff, not with Celine, with the Bellstar, and which is why I would cut like one of the Princess for Celine, because you can make Celine bring back uh, the Diabell Star and then Jet Synchron and Diabell Star into Savage a lot. It makes it easier to do that. So that's it for the extra. And then finally, just a side deck. I mean, it's not that different. It's just 2 Bell, the 2 Tactics, 3 Cosmic, because it's crazy this format, 1 Called By, 3 Anti-Spell, 3 Evenly, and 1 Agave Dragon. In Pax list, this would be Ghost Mourner, but I felt like Evenly was a bit more like versatile against like all of the rogue or like tier 2 decks that I expected to run into. Like I played against like Live Twin Sprite, I played against Lab, I played against those kind of decks, so those are ones that I expect at my locals, so I was like, I wanted to play Evenly instead of Ghost Mourner, instead of like a second like effect dealer essentially. It would come up in time, but that's why I played the Agave Dragon. Agave did come up against the Live Twin Sprite player, but I wasn't able to make it because I got nibbed, so we just drew. But yeah, it's all pretty standard. It's just PAX lists I took a lot of inspiration from, and I tweaked it based on like how I thought my locals would go. Again, if I would change it, I would put the 2 Tactics in the Called By in, and then I would run just 3 cross out on the side, and that would be it. But yeah, that's kind of how. Actually, I actually had a. I was debating about this too. I was thinking about either running triple cross out or 2 cross out and then 1 dogwood, in case my opponent wanted to like dogwood me. I could cross out my own dogwood in my deck and do it that way. But then I realized that people usually do it on like if you normal summon Ash and then you add Poplar, they chain it to Poplar, so then I can just cross out my own Poplar and then pass, and then they take 4K damage. So I would probably just make I would probably slide these back into the main deck and then turn them into 3 cross out and do it that way in the side deck. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If I didn't punt like round 1, I probably would have done a lot better. Maybe 5-1 or even like 6-0, but you know, we live and we learn, and it's all in practice for an LTS championship next Sunday, so I'll let you guys know if I do well with that one. I'll see you guys later.